Welcome back to the Kangaroo Corner. I'm Joey Johnson. I'm here with some Week 11 NFL picks. I'm coming to you early Thursday morning because I'm working nights right now, and this is the first week of the season where the Thursday night game was interesting to me. So with that said, let's get it started. First off, we have the Ravens versus the Bengals on Thursday night. This one is a tough one to call. Both teams are coming off losses. Both teams should be in the upper echelon of the AFC. The Bengals always start off the year slow. They always have injuries, particularly to quarterback Joe Burrow. Meanwhile, the Ravens will look like a great team for multiple weeks at a time and then just lay an egg every once in a while. They did that last week. I don't think they'll do it again, so I got to take the Ravens in this one. Next is Browns and Steelers. The Steelers are still kind of an interesting team. The Browns are getting more interesting. They have a great defense. Their offense has been pretty anemic all year. They made that comeback last week against the Ravens, but I don't think that the offense particularly looked good. They're calling plays for Deshaun Watson like you call plays to protect a rookie from his bad habits and shortcomings, and not like the highest paid quarterback in the league. So I think they'll do enough to beat the Steelers, but I'm still not sold on the Browns at all. Next, Dolphins versus Raiders. I am guilty of being a prisoner of the moment. After the Dolphins put up that 70 points against the Broncos, I was one of those people that was jumping around like, who's going to stop this offense? Well, several people have since then. They seem to be really good and beat up on bad teams and lose to good teams. And even though the Raiders seem a little bit rejuvenated with their coaching change, I don't think it's enough. I got to take the Dolphins in this one. Next, we have the Lions versus the Bears, and I'm taking the Lions because it's the Lions and the Bears in 2023. The Bears have not been good. The Lions, I have firmly in that second tier of NFC teams. I don't think they're great. I don't think they can hang with the top level teams, but they should beat the Bears, pretty easily. Jaguars against the Titans. The Jaguars got straight mollywopped last week by San Francisco. I don't think that's indicative of any shortcomings on them. I think it's more indicative of how good this San Francisco team can be with all the talent healthy and them playing the way that they can play. Jaguars had gone into that game winning 5 in a row. I don't think that the Titans can do anything to stop them. I think that was an anomaly. I think that's what happens. That's what's going to happen to Jacksonville this year when they play the top teams in the league. They're probably not going to look too good, but against everybody else, they should be fine. So they beat the Titans. Next, we have the Chargers against the Packers. And this is a tough one for me to call because I don't think the Packers are good this year. But this is a time of the year where the Chargers normally start charging and finding ways to lose games. But I will take the Chargers just because they should be a better team. They should have more talent. But I would not be shocked if they find a way to do something to lose a game that they seem to have in hand. Texans versus the Cardinals. I don't know what you can say at this point about CJ Stroud. He looks like the real deal. It looks like the Texans made a brilliant pick taking him. He looks like a legitimate star quarterback in the making. And I will take the Texans beating the Cardinals, who have played some close games. I think they're better than anybody expected, but we expected them to lose almost every game of the year because we thought they were tanking for draft picks. So they should have nothing for the Texans. Next, we have Cowboys versus Panthers. I put the Cowboys in the same category that I put the Dolphins in. For now, they can come around and step up to that next tier up. But for right now, the Cowboys are a team who beats bad teams. And until they beat a good team, that's all they are. The Commanders beat the Giants. There's nothing to say about this game. Neither one of these teams is good right now. And this is just it's flipping a coin on who's going to be the least terrible. Next, 49ers and Buccaneers. I think what we saw from San Francisco is proof of concept of what Kyle Shanahan's team and scheme can be when everything is right, when everybody's healthy. I think they are the most talented team in the NFL this year. And if they have their stuff together like they did last week, they should handle Tampa Bay without any problem. Next is Bills versus Jets. The Jets aren't good. The Bills were supposed to be good. I think a lot of their players that they have built that team around are starting to age out. And more, Josh Allen is having to put games on his shoulders and say, guys, I'm going to carry you to victory. And when he does that, he throws bad interceptions. He's coming off of several interceptions last week. But I think the Bills still have enough to beat the Jets. Seahawks and Rams. The Seahawks are the better team. It should be an easy win for Seattle. Vikings versus the Broncos. Vikings versus the Broncos. I don't know what you can say right now about the Pastronaut. Josh Dobbs is coming to two teams this year who had quarterback injuries and won games without even knowing the names of his teammates. And for all the talk that we hear about teams wanting quarterbacks that are smart and make the right decisions, and nobody had the aerospace engineering degree guy signed, that seems crazy to me, but that's the case. And I think that he is enough to carry the Vikings over the Broncos, who have looked better the past couple weeks, but still don't look like a good team. And finally, the Monday night game, Chiefs versus Eagles. I think it's fair to say that the Eagles are still a good team. They're still in the upper echelon of the NFC. They're not as good as they were last year. The Chiefs have less weapons on offense than Patrick Mahomes has ever had to work with, but it's the best defense he's ever had to work with. And you could put me out there on the field, and when it matters, I still have faith in Patrick Mahomes to turn up with something to be Superman when it counts. So I have the Chiefs beating the Eagles on Monday night. And that is all I have for you right now. I will be back sometime this week with more details on some of the games and a few more things here and there about some non-football stuff. But until then, take it easy, and I'll see you later.